We are rolling. Hi, everyone. Tony, check out the chorus. I just read the other day, I was looking up some things on the Stones. I don't know if it's true or not, but the article said that Keith drinks Coors Bank beer, which is what this is. And Jack, we all know he drinks Jack Daniels. So we got a Coors. Cheers, Keith. This video, though, is about another superstar, Eric Clapton. This morning, I had to drive my son to the airport. He's going to San Francisco to see a couple of Dead shows, and drove him out. And we were listening to the hard drive. My brother-in-law puts a bunch of things on my hard drive so I could do, through my stereo in the car. And he's driving, I'm driving, so he put on. This is how these videos come about. I get inspired by what's around me and what I do that day, or what I read, or me and my audiophile guys talk about, people who love music, and that's how I get inspired, and things I see from other VCers out there. And by the way, thanks for stopping by again. I know it's summertime, it's warm, people aren't inside. I don't blame them. I'm outside. Who wants to stay inside and watch YouTube? But I appreciate the ones that do, whether it's late at night or, while you're hanging out at home, you have the computer on. But anyway, he puts on The History of Eric Clapton. It's a double album. It came out, I believe, in 1969. And I'm listening to the songs, and I'm going, this is incredible. From 62, when he was with the Bluesbreakers, or 62 when he was with the Yardbirds, rather, to 69, he's already surpassed what most artists wouldn't do in a lifetime. So I'm thinking, wow, that's a great story. I've got a lot of the vinyl albums, the OG albums. What I don't have on albums, I have on CD, which is what I'll show you in part 2. And his solo things. But if you think about it, Clapton was never content with whatever band he was in, whatever group he was in. He would continue to evolve. He would continue to change up until what he's doing now. He's still productive. He's still out there touring. He still puts out records every once in a while. And it's just amazing. So I'm listening to literally this album in the car. The History of Eric Clapton. Now, like I said, this is 69. This is a gatefold. This is a mint copy. We listened to it on a hard drive. This is on ACO. The History of Eric Clapton. There's the incarnations up until 68, 69. Okay, so just on this record alone, let me put on my glasses. Just on this record alone, we have I Ain't Got You from the Yardbirds, Hideaway from the Bluesbreakers with John Mayall. We have Tribute to Elmore James, which is with Jimmy Page. I Want to Know, which is What's Shakin', which is Eric and the Powerhouse. Sunshine of Your Love, Cream, Crossroads, Cream, Spoonful, Cream, Bad's, Cream, Sea of Joy, Blind Faith, Only You Know and I Know, Delaney and Bonnie, I Don't Want to Discuss It, Delaney and Bonnie, Teasin', which he did on a King Curtis record, I believe, Blues Power Live with Russell, Tell the Truth with Derek and the Dominoes, Tell the Truth Jam, and Layla. That's from 62 or so to 69. So 7 years, one guy. Here's the gatefold again, if you didn't get a glimpse of that. And he would also change his look. I'm not going to get into his guitars. I'm not a technical guitar person, but he had different guitars. Blackie was one that I think he put together from different guitars. He had someone put that together. But what he would do later on, he would auction some of those guitars off for charity during his Crossroads shows. And I have those on video on DVD. And right now I'm just going to do albums and CDs. I'm not going to do DVDs, but I would like to someday do a DVD video of my music DVDs. So I'm just going to show you some of his albums. These are up. We're going to do part one up to the solo stuff, and then I'll do the solo stuff and people he played with, like Harrison, Jeff Beck, Gilmore from Pink Floyd. So okay, here we have an OG greatest hits, the Yardbirds. And this has Beck and Jeff and Eric Clapton on this compilation, Greatest Hits. And you can see in the far right, Clapton there, one of the Yardbirds albums. And he was only with the Yardbirds for a short period of time, maybe a year or two. Here we have Rave Up, which came out after Clapton left the band, because we have Jeff Beck up back here. That's Jeff Beck. But Clapton is on this album as well. And this is on Epic as well in America. Train Kept It Rolling, I'm a Man. You're a Better Man Than I. This is, you all know the Yardbirds pedigree. So Eric's on that. And we have a compilation which is on Pickwick, Jeff Beck, Clapton, and Jimmy Page, 3 guitar players from the Yardbirds. And this has West Coast Idea, which is Eric Clapton, has Choker, which features Eric and Jimmy, Dragging My Heart, Eric and Jimmy, and then you have Freight Loader with Eric and Jimmy, and Chuckles, which is featuring Jeff Beck, Tribute to Elmore, which is Eric. So why they had a left-handed guitar here, I'm not sure, but seems like there's a left-handed guitar. I just noticed that. But this is cool. This is a Pickwick label. The label, somehow they got the rights. Here's the inner. And these usually went for like $2.98. So you would get them for $2.49, $1.99. Then they were cut out. You get them for $1.25, $1, depends. But Pickwick, some of Pickwick stuff's, desirable. It's just it's a collectible. Sound wise, they weren't awesome, but they're good to have. And now we're up to John Mayall. From the Yardbirds to the Bluesbreakers. And we all know John Mayall had tremendous guitar players. Mick Taylor. Even had Walter Trout, which is a local blues guitar player who's renowned around the world. Doesn't have a major label contract as far as I know, but he sells through his own label or a small label. Sells tons of records. He's just tremendous. If you ever get a chance, go see Walter Trout. And that's the beanie cover. And here we have the actual full cover. This is a reissue, a Decca reissue. This is fantastic. They said when people heard this, it changed the way they thought a guitar could sound. He was a master at such a young age. And this is a back to black copy. You see John Mayall. And then we go to Cream, where didn't do the John Mayall thing, hooked up with some other people who were into jazz, which was Jack Bruce, Ginger Baker. They played together in different organizations. They were all local London guys. They hung around the pubs, and that's where they all met. It was a small London town is small. England is small. So everyone knew each other, musicians. So they formed Cream. First album up. These are mostly American. I have one UK, which is from Reaction. That's Disraeli Gears. This is Fresh Cream. And this is tremendous. I Feel Free, Sleepy Time, Sweet Wine, Rolling and Tumbling, I'm So Glad, and Toad. We have the 5-minute version of Toad. There's also probably a 20-minute version of Toad. And here you have the introductions to the artists. And Ginger drums, vocals, Jack Bruce, bass, guitar, harmonica, vocals, Clapton, guitar, vocals. Epitomizes all that is blues. From far shores, he is hailed as brilliant, and he is truly a great guitarist and personality. Originally a rustic, Eric pursued his musical ideas and became a figurehead with the Yardbirds and John Mayall. It's 1967, Fresh Cream. And I skipped one here, but we also have the John Mayall, Back to the Roots, which has either outtakes or things from different albums, but this is a double album. It has about 6 or 7 tracks with Clapton. Mick Taylor's on here, Harvey Mandel, Keith Hartley, John Mayall, Sugarcane Harris, who was with the Airplane, Johnny Allman, who's from Mark Allman, and you can see the back. Let you get a chance to read that. If you ever see this, this was a cutout. This is fantastic. John Mayall and Some Memorable Men, Back to the Roots. So Clapton's on that, so I skipped that. Now we're back to Disraeli Gears. Here's an Atco pressing, American. Strange Brew, Sunshine of Your Love. Blue Condition, Tales of Brave Ulysses. Outside Woman Blues. Very Psychedelia. Great cover art. And here's another Disraeli Gears. This is RSO release from Domestic. Same tracks. Strange Brew. As you can see, totally different back. Right there. Here's another Atco. This is stereo. And here is, I have a Reaction. I have a mono and a stereo. Reaction is the Fish first press. And I'll show you the label. Beautiful blue Reaction. A nice dark royal blue. Disraeli Gears, amazing. Here we have Fresh Cream. I mean, here we have Wheels of Fire, part live, part studio. And I'm really proud of this one. This is a white label promo. Live at the Fillmore, Train Time, Toad, 18 minutes, or 16:13 rather. Here we have Wheels of Fire, white label promo, side 2, Press Rat and Warthog, Politician, Those Were the Days, Born Under a Bad Sign, Deserted Cities, incredible. I'll show you the gatefold. This is a promo, a collector's edition. And here you can see the gold stamp promo. Very happy to have that. I'm not even sure where we picked it up, but that's an amazing find. Here is, we go to compilations, best of Cream. After the Cream broke up, this came out, or maybe right around the time they were breaking up. This goes up to I Feel Free. That's 10 tracks. Great back cover. I love this cover. I think this is also taken from a live session that they did. This is on one of the few live videos we have of Cream, unfortunately. That's a great shot, but I remember seeing this on YouTube. And I think the problem was Robert Stigwood was so thrifty that he did not have the foresight to spend money on filming the Cream. The last concert, which I don't have a record of, I have the DVD of, at the Royal Albert Hall, the last concert, the farewell concert, wasn't even done correctly as far as I'm concerned. They didn't know how to shoot a rock video. You wouldn't even see Clapton playing guitar. It wasn't edited, it wasn't directed properly, as far as I know, as far as I remember. But at least we have that, so that's something. Here's Goodbye Cream, which has on it I'm So Glad, Politician. These are live. Sitting on Top of the World, Badge, What a Bring Down. Recorded live in concert. Doing that Scrapyard thing and What a Bring Down are studio recordings. And this was produced by Felix Popularity. And here we have the boys dressed in appears to be silk, some type of tuxedo, even the shoes matched. And I'll show you the gatefold. This is on RSO. And Goodbye Cream, cemetery shot. Very macabre. And then we have Live Cream, which is tremendous. This is NSU, Sleepy Time Time, Lordy Mama, Sweet Wine, Rolling and Tumbling. I'm not sure where this was recorded. Lordy Mama is a studio recording. Everything else is live, so they mixed and matched these records. Live Cream. If you think about it, why say Live Cream on it? Back then, they didn't have any direction. The boys probably weren't even involved. Just Robert Stigwood. And here we have Live Cream Volume 2, which is tremendous. It's just an improv rock band. They're jazz musicians. I rate them with Coltrane, Mr. Gordon, Mayall'S. I put them up there with that as far as the improv. This is not a gatefold. I'll just show you the RSO label. But their improv was just amazing. Just the other day, I was talking to a friend, and he mentioned that he saw a documentary on Creedence Clearwater. There's a live documentary floating around of one of the concerts. It may be the Albert Hall. He goes, it was good. I liked it. I said, well, they're good. They're good, but there's no improvisation. If the studio recording of Fortunate Son was 4 minutes and 12 seconds, the live version was probably 4 minutes and 12 seconds. And they didn't deviate from the single from the record. So it got boring. I think the Creedence Clearwater concerts, in my opinion, were not good because they were just reiterating what was on the studio record. You didn't get that with people like Cream. Cream where when you guys go listen to some live Cream, not just the stuff that you hear studio. Go pull some live Cream on YouTube or get these records, and you'll be blown away. Because they'll go on and on with a riff for 10 minutes, like Crossroads, White Room, goes on and on and on. And remember, it's just three guys. Probably, I don't know the first, but one of the first power trios, and definitely one of the first super groups. This is mint. Look at that. And here I have some compilations. This is the Best of Ginger Baker on Polydor. And the reason I pull this because obviously there's going to be Clapton on here with Blind Faith and with Cream. And here's the companion piece for that record, Heavy Cream, which is a double record set, flap record, 2 LPs on Polydor. And this is tremendous because we don't know what the sources were of these early records because it wasn't a digital format. It wasn't a digital chain. So everything was analog. Everything was from tape. We don't know if it was a B copy or a dub copy, but these all sound good. And on here we have Strange Brew, just to give you an example, Badge, Spoonful, Cat Squirrel, Sitting on Top of the World, What a Bring Down, Take It Back, Politician, Sunshine of Your Love. Those were the days. This is probably the first Cream record that I bought. And then I went back and bought the originals. Here's another compilation which came out later. And on here it says $2.99. This is another compilation on RSO. Cream, it says they have the dates. Cream was Clapton, Bruce, Baker, July 66 to November 68. And the original Cream albums were Fresh Cream, Disraeli Gears, Wheels of Fire, Goodbye, and those were the only 4 albums. And then the rest were subsequent live and compilations. But this is nice to have. Strange Brew. Nice colorized photograph there. And then I picked this up a few years ago, but not ancient history, because I was lucky enough to go see Cream live at Madison Square Garden with my good friend and music confidant, Ed Oskey. And he had got tickets to see Cream at the Garden. Well, he said, "Do you want to go?" I said, "Yeah." He got the tickets, and it was amazing because they only played 3 nights at the Garden, and I believe 3 nights at the Royal Albert Hall. And then that was the end of the tour. The tour, we didn't know that. We thought they'd be touring, and we found out later that Clapton basically, I guess, wanted to get his 2 buddies a couple of good paydays, and the concert was tremendous. We have the DVD, the Blu-ray and DVD, and I bought the album later on. This is a triple record. Royal Albert Hall. The concert at Madison Square Garden was only available on a bootleg, so I didn't get that. But I did buy the poster that day, which is this. It's a foil poster, and that's tremendous. Maybe one day I'll show that. But this is a triple album. (2002). I believe. Oh, no, this is record 2. 2005. Wow. Seems like yesterday. And here's record 2, record 1, record 3. And this is okay. It sounds good. I'm sure it's a digital transfer, but I like it. So here you have really nice covers and a little sheet inside, suitable for framing in stereo in color, advertisements for the video. And like I said, the video is great. And when you do hear these, they're a few octaves below what they did when they were 18 and 22 or 25, whatever they were. But a tremendous document. And I'm so lucky that I got to see that show at the Garden. And here are a few things that Eric did. I guess post-Cream. I didn't do date-wise. A lot of these things may be out of order. But this is tremendous. London Howlin' Wolf sessions. I talked about this earlier. I Ain't Superstitious, Red Rooster, Sitting on Top of the World, all Howlin' Wolf tunes. But on this record, we have Howlin' Wolf, Clapton, Steve Winwood, Bill Wyman, who's going to be recording with the Stones, like we talked about once before, probably just a one-off. Charlie Watts, rest in peace. Hubert Sumlin, rest in peace. Jake Karp and Ian Stewart. And this was the brainchild of Marshall Chess. And here's the gatefold. This is a cutout on Chess. There's a nice scene of London. This is great because there's one tune where the wolf is teaching the boys how to do Little Red Rooster, I believe. He's actually going up the chord progression. Here's the label. But a story I told before was where they were they got these guys together to back up and accompany Howlin' in the studio for this one-off. And Marshall Chess did not want to bring along Howlin' Wolf's guitar player his whole career. He had Harry Stumplin as his guitar player. He was very young when he started. And Sumlin wasn't going to be able to go. You know, he couldn't. Marshall Chess didn't want to foot the bill for the plane ticket. And Clapton said to him, if Hubert's not there, I won't be there. And subsequently, Hubert was on that plane, and Herbert is on this session, which is one of the premier blues guitar players, innovators. Keith Richards and Mick, I think, paid for his funeral a few years ago. He actually died in New Jersey and was buried in New Jersey. And I think Keith Richards paid for that funeral. That's how much they love the blues people, and they always, whenever they could, they would support them, even by playing their songs. Covering their songs were paydays for them if they had the publishing, and they didn't have them initially. I believe a lot of the families of those great blues men got the publishing rights back. Here's another one. This is with Clapton and the Yardbirds backing up Sonny Boy Williamson. This is on Mercury. This is fantastic. Just as a document. You have Sonny Boy Williamson, vocal and harp, Clapton lead guitar, Chris Deja, rhythm, Paul Samwell, bass, Jim McCarthy, drums, Keith Ralph, hand clapping. And this was released probably 67, 68. It's still in shrink. Some shrink there. And then, of course, we go to Blind Faith, which was another Clapton band with Steve Winwood and Ginger Baker. Rick Creech on bass. They only lasted one record. They did a couple of shows. Some of it's available on YouTube. This is the censored cover. As you know, the original cover had a young female on it with let's just say not a lot of clothing. So this is on Atco. This is unbelievable. So Clapton could never be content with where he was. I don't know that Genesis are breaking up with Winwood's band. After that, Winwood got into Traffic, but I don't know. But Clapton always moved ahead, always changed his style. Then he developed a vocal. His confidence came more so in the front for vocalists because he was very shy. And then we go to Delaney and Bonnie, which is where he said he actually did build a lot of confidence from Delaney, helping him learn how to sing and get that mojo going. But this is great. Eric Clapton on tour. And these records are great. Delaney and Bonnie. It's almost a preamble to Derek and the Dominoes. Supposedly it was supposed to be Dylan's feet out of that window. See that in that car there? I think it was supposed to be Bob Dylan. But this is tremendous. I love the sound of this. Bobby Whitcock, what's his name? Whitlock, Carl Rendell, Jim Gordon just died. Jim Price, Rita Coolidge, Delaney and Bonnie, Dave Mason, and friends. And go through a couple of solo albums. We have Clapton Here, which was a compilation, which has Duane Allman's on this, things from Derek and the Dominoes. And then we have the first album, solo album. And if you go on the back, it's most of the Delaney and Bonnie crew, later on Derek and the Dominoes crew. And it gives you the chart. So we're going to pick up next segment, which would be side 2. We'll pick up with Derek and the Dominoes, and we'll go through his career. We'll go to some of the stops he made on other people's records, like Gilmore, with Pete Townsend with the Rainbow concert, Unplugged, which he did live on MTV. So hope you enjoyed this segment. Thanks for watching or stopping by and getting a few moments of it anyway. Please like and subscribe. And we're going to get the other one going. And I figured it's easier to watch in 2 parts than do a full hour. So thanks a lot. Keep rocking and stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.